All right, we have talked about adjacent angles, which adjacent angles, hopefully we remember, they're next to one another, so they're right beside each other. We have talked about complementary angles. Complementary angles, two angles add up to 90. So we're looking, especially really often, we're looking for that little box that's right there in the corner of these, or for it to say complementary. We have talked about supplementary angles, and supplementary angles add to 180. So two angles that add to 180. A lot of times we're looking for them to be right beside each other, looking for something where it says supplementary. Today, we're going to talk about a couple others here. We're going to talk about first vertical angles, and then we're going to talk about linear pairs. So vertical angles. Vertical angles. What we say here, we say they are two non-adjacent. Now, non-adjacent is not next to each other, so two non-adjacent angles formed by intersecting lines. We've got two lines. The vertical angles are the ones across from each other. So it could be those two. These two are also vertical angles. Do not get confused or think that vertical, I know we always think, oh, vertical, up and down. They don't have to be up and down. They can be side to side. They just have to be across from each other. That's probably one of the big things you need to remember is across from one another. So when I look here, name two pairs of vertical angles. Well, I could say angle 1 and angle 2. I could also say angle 3 and angle 4. Name the vertical angle with VZY. VZY, that's this angle right here. The angle that's vertical with that is angle XZW. So the one that's across from it. Now, the big thing, one of the big things that you'll want to remember or at least know about with vertical angles, and this isn't on here anywhere, so you're going to want to write it down. Vertical angles are congruent. They're the same. They have the same measure. So we want to make sure that we're using that as we go through here to set up equations and find angles. So right here, we're told that the lines intersect and we want to find the value of x. These two angles, they are vertical angles, means they're congruent. I can set up an equation. 7 plus 13x equals negative 20 plus 16x. So I just set that up. I'm going to add 20 to both sides. Subtract 13x from both sides. And I'm going to get 27 equals 3x. Divide by 3. I get x equals 9. So set those equal to each other. Anytime we have vertical angles, that's what we're going to do. I'd encourage you to pause the video here for a moment. Try example 4 and then come back to check to see if you did it right. Welcome back. The way we go about this, these are vertical angles. So I can set them equal to each other. And then I just go through and solve. I'll subtract 2x from both sides. 3x minus 2x is x. Subtract 15 from both sides. 5 equals x. We're just looking for x, so that's my answer. I'm done. Try pausing on number 5 as well. Now that you're back, they give a picture here. I'm going to label this picture first. It's a little different. These up here were labeled. So here I will go through, make sure to label 5x, and then 4x plus 10. Again, these are vertical angles. Set them equal to each other. Subtract the 4x. X equals 10. So there's x. Now here, I need that because it says, oh, find the value of x and each angle. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to plug that in. So measure of angle SOP, 5 times 10. That's 50. And then over here, measure of angle ROQ, 4 times 10 plus 10. 40 plus 10 is 50. If those don't come out to be the same, you did something wrong. And we're going to come back and get these two here in a bit. So right now, I got 50, and I'm good with that. I'm going to come back to number 6 here in a minute too, because in order to do that, there's some funny things going on to find the rest of this stuff that we really want to talk about linear pairs first. So I'm going to talk about linear pairs, and then I'm going to come back and finish this. I will say right here, if this is 41, because of vertical angles, I know that's 41. And if this is 72, I know that's 72. Now it's going to be figuring out those. So I can say angle 1 is 72. Angle 3 is 41. And then I'll have to come back and get 2 and 4 here in a moment.